All right, Brody, how are you, man? What's happening on this National Signing Day? How much are you watching this coverage?
Yeah, no, I mean, I am sitting here with my TV on and my tweet deck up, trying to follow everything here at the Athletic Baton Rouge branch, which is my apartment in Baton Rouge. So
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
I'm all on it.
Any surprises for you here early on in the process? It was good to see the two big defensive tackles from in-state get their letter of intent. And 1 5-star in Elias Ricks, and we had a 5-star in Eric Gilbert on earlier this morning to say expect his LOI here this morning. So, any surprises for you?
No surprises at all so far. It seems like everything's going to plan. They're wrapping up all their major guys they expected to sign, and obviously the big decisions start coming in the next hour or two. With Jordan Birch, Phillip Webb, Marcus Dumerville, and then even making sure what happens with top receiver commit Jermaine Burton. So I think those are the ones to really follow, as you guys all know. But so far, everything is going to plan and wrapping up all the guys they've had committed for a very long time.
So you're an expert recruiter. What's going to happen with those guys?
Yeah, you know me, recruiting expert.
Yeah.
I mean, Phillip Webb and Marcus Dumerville seem, everyone at LSU and everyone around them feels pretty confident he's going to sign with LSU. So expect those guys to choose the Tigers. I think the interesting ones that we're all following, the main one is top 5 overall player, defensive line star Jordan Birch from South Carolina. That's one that I think nobody really feels overly confident about. LSU thinks they have a lead there, but I've also heard that Georgia thought they had it. So I've heard a lot of different things there, and I don't think anyone would be surprised either way. But it does seem like LSU does have a bit of a lead there. So, I mean, if LSU can get that kind of player, that would obviously put a massive, massive cherry on top of a pretty great class. And then Jermaine Burton's obviously the tricky one, but again, Georgia's making a strong push there, and he's originally from there. His mother's moving back there, but LSU thinks that they're all good on that one, and that he should still sign with LSU.
So what's your reaction, Brody? Because we talked about this a bit on the cast yesterday, but Rakim Jarrett says that his school will not allow him to sign today. He has teammates that are signing today.
Yeah, I know, right? A lot of different things going around on that one. I'm happy I haven't come out and said anything too confidently there. Yeah, that's one where I think that's been a weird one for a while. I mean, LSU still thinks they have him, and LSU still maintains that that's just the school and all those things. I don't know exactly what's going on there, but schools like Alabama and Maryland are certainly happy that he's waiting to sign. I mean, he's obviously the highest rated of this massive receiving haul they're bringing in. So, I mean, yeah, whenever a guy waits 2 months to sign, there's always going to be an extra stress there, even if hypothetically he's a 100% solid commitment. I mean, that's 2 months for the top programs to really focus on him, and it's easier to focus on guys these next 2 months than it has been the past few months. So I think that's never good news.
Brody, I don't know, and it's at Brody A. Miller on Twitter. I don't know if you have any insight to this, but I think back to last year's signing day, maybe it was the second one, but like flipping Apu Ika out of nowhere. The Eric Gilbert news earlier this cycle was one of the biggest surprises of the entire cycle. Do you have any inkling of anything that's kind of completely out of left field that could maybe be on the radar?
Yeah, I don't think anything will ever top the Eric Gilbert flip. That's an all-time surprise. I think the only one to follow is basically, what happens at running back. There are a lot of different, guys, like several different guys committed to other schools that LSU is really trying to bring in there. I mean, I know the name everyone wants to know about is Zach Evans, but, he's not announcing until the All-American game, and there's a chance he signs today and then just kind of keeps it secret for a while, but I don't think any – based on the, I'll cite guys like Shea Dixon, 24/7 Sports, and others who are a little more sourced on this, but they're like, no one really has a great feel for what this guy will do at any time. But yeah, I don't think we'll know too much on him for a while. But yeah, I think running back is where you might want to see some, maybe a shot at Clayton committed to Colorado, or Gibbs committed to Georgia Tech, or maybe watch out for a Kendall Milton type committed to Georgia. Those are some ones to watch, but I mean, that would be the only real surprise I could think of.
Brody Miller joining us here every Wednesday on The Athletic. Brody, what do you think the weekend did for LSU with their quarterback winning the Heisman?
Yeah, I don't think you can pay for any better recruiting than Joe Burrow giving that speech, and then also, giving that heartfelt, speech to Ed Ogeron about how much he means to him. You cannot, LSU couldn't raise as much money in the world to pay for how much that probably helped them in recruiting. I mean, to just show a quarterback and a coach having such a connection, and in the biggest moment of his life, to have the most emotional moment be about his coach. I mean, I can't speak for players, but I feel pretty confident saying that would make guys want to play for Ed Ogeron. So yeah, I think that will probably do a lot. I mean, obviously their 2020 quarterbacks are wrapped up in Max Johnson, TJ Finley, but as well as I, 2021, they're looking at some really big players like the number one quarterback in the country, Caleb Williams, out of the DMV area. I think that's one that we saw him following Joe Brady around after the Texas A&M game, so he's definitely one of their top targets, and you would think a moment like that goes a long way.
All right, Brody, what's coming up on the athletics coverage as LSU is back on the practice field getting ready for OU in the playoff?
Yeah, are you writing breakdowns of every player that commits as they commit?
That is, I'm not afraid to say, that is the highlight of working at the Athletic now, and is that I do not have to write a brief on every single player that commits. But please follow the people that do, because they do fantastic work. But this week you can expect a column, some point this evening on just this class, what it means, and what to watch going forward. I think we'll actually have a mailbag Friday, and we're gonna have a story on this 2017 class and kind of how it was the class that really turned a lot of things around at LSU. So follow those at theathletic.com.
All right, Brody Miller, every Wednesday here on Off the Bench. Thank you, man.